Hello all, good morning. Let's start the today's session. In the previous demo session, that is yesterday's session, let me recap. In the yesterday's session, we have seen what is CRM and what is Salesforce position in the market and why to use Salesforce. And regarding the job positions, this is what actually we are discussing in the previous session. So before understanding the Salesforce, we just discussed about what is Salesforce. That is like what is customer relationship management, which is like software where we can maintain all the kind of customer interactions from start to end point. For that, if you any company wants to go with some software sort of thing, then the CRM applications are available in the market. And some of the CRM applications or some of the CRM supported companies are like Salesforce, SAP, Oracle, Dynamics, Zoho, and etc. So, in which Salesforce occupies the major market share in the market. As you could see, almost around 24% of the market occupied by Salesforce, which enhance more opportunities for consultants. And why to use the Salesforce we have discussed, and regarding the course content, and this is what we are discussing in the previous session. Today it is like first class, and let's start with the Salesforce and all. As I said, to work with the Salesforce, first we need to have some trial account, where from the first day itself we are going to see everything in the trial account. So, and today the agenda, today I'm going to explain you how to create a trial account and how the Salesforce look and feel. That is like UI introduction part. So today we are going to see the UI introduction part, like how you are going to see the Salesforce and how to use the Salesforce, like the navigations and all, what is Salesforce and how it looks like, how to start with Salesforce and all. Right. So let's see how to start with the Salesforce for it. Let me take help of a new notepad. So first thing, like create a Salesforce account. So after the class, I would request you also to create a Salesforce account so that whatever the topics we are performing on the class, you also need to perform the same activities on your trial account. So to start with the trial account, there is a lot of things in the market. I mean to say different URLs where you can directly log into the Salesforce and you can create a sign-in account. But try to use this URL, https://developer.salesforce.com/signup. So this is the URL which you need to use to create a trial account. As I said, there is so many links. You can also search in the Google and you can get the link. But please go with this developer.salesforce.com/signup so that this particular trial account will last at least minimum 6 months. You can have this account. Otherwise, you are going with the other thing, it will give only 30 days or 35 days. So what is this developer? As I said in the yesterday's session, we are discussing different editions is available for the Salesforce account, right? We are making use of this developer edition. This is what the Salesforce is offering to create a trial accounts in order to explore the Salesforce, right? So let me open the browser. Here, the prerequisites to create a trial account is you need to have one Gmail account. Any Gmail account, maybe whichever the username you are currently using, or you can also create your new Gmail account. But the Gmail account should not be used. I mean to say this is the first time where you are signing up for the Salesforce, right? So this is the URL, as I said, developer.salesforce.com/signup. Once you click on it, this is creation of Salesforce account is like pretty much easy, where as you creating a Gmail account, right? In the same way, you can also create your Salesforce. The first name, let me go with Yaksha IT. Let's say Yaksha IT is my first name and last name. Let's have anything, job title or anything like developer. Here, the email address. Let me have this email. with some work email, Yaksha IT May batch, and company, just giving it as YIT, and country region is like India. You need to, I agree to the mail services here, and I'm not a robot. Sign me up. So you could see just I have filled the username details and all, almost there. Check your email. So this is your where you could see the creation of Salesforce account. It is like just providing your name and email. Now let me go to the email here. This is my inbox and the Yaksha IT. Once you are going with that form, you could see the email in your mailbox. Thanks for signing up for a developer edition. So that's what you need to use the developer.salesforce.com, right? So once this is done, click on reset password. So for the first time, you definitely need to reset the password. Why? Because we have not yet created any passwords there, right? So first you need to reset the password. You could see how simple it was to create a Salesforce account. This is your Salesforce account. So as I suggest, please go through once after the session, you people also try to create a Salesforce account so that we can do the regular activities in this Salesforce account. To start with the Salesforce account, this is the URL developer.salesforce.com, and you need to have an email ID. That's it. Simple. No need of providing the phone number as well. So this email, don't go with the personal emails. Why? Because while we are doing some activities here, like let's say you are creating any process, any flows there. So once the flow got failed, it will send an email notification to that email. So if you feel, if you don't want to mix this with your personal email, just go with the new email. That's up to you. That's totally different. Now let's say once we created an URL here, this is your, once you have created a Salesforce account, this is going to be your organization URL. This is going to be your organization URL. And here, this automatically picked by the system and org form and with some numbers and dev ed. This is developer edition .develop.lightning.post.py. This is how the URL looks like. And you can also sign in with the Salesforce by going with this URL. I mean to say, anytime once you are able to, once you want to log in with your Salesforce, you can simply, use this URL, right? You can use this URL and you can try to log in to the Salesforce account. So this is one option. Right? And if you feel that I am not able to remember all this URL every time, right? So this is, and another option is like you can simply use login.salesforce.com. You can also use this login.salesforce.com. Here you can start using your username and password, right? You could see the username. Here's the username for your developer edition, Yaksha IT Maybatch 758. It will automatically randomly picked. So previously, there is an option where you can choose the username, like Yaksha IT, SURESH, or whatever. You can, it allows you to choose. But nowadays, the username was automatically provided by the system itself. Based upon the email ID, it is automatically generating. So this is your user ID. You can take this as an user ID. And from the login.salesforce.com, you can simply go with, you need to have total user ID there. Let me take this one. So this is going to be your user ID and password. So now it will automatically goes to, you can ignore it. If you want, you can have your phone number. Otherwise, you can simply ignore it. The phone number is not mandatory here. So this is how the login Salesforce account can be created. To log in, you can simply use, right? This is your URL. So now you could see we have created a Salesforce account. So before understanding the Salesforce and all this, let's try to understand something in the backend, what's happening with the Salesforce, I mean to say. So here, if you are starting with any software, first you need to understand, as a consultant, I mean to say, here the front-end user can simply log into the system and access whatever the options it has. But as a consultant, if you are learning something, you need to understand what's happening in the backend as well, right? So to understand this one, Salesforce will provide you the multi-tenant architecture. Multi-tenant architecture. So what is this multi-tenant? So the first thing here, if you see here, the market share which occupies by the Salesforce is almost 24%. So, if any competitor in the market, they also try to capture the market, right? They also try to get more clients in the market. So what actually it makes the Salesforce very far when compared to the other products. So why the Salesforce CRM has huge market? So to analyze this thing, just to understand the different CRM applications before entering into the Salesforce, why it is like that much difference between the competitors. So the main thing is like Salesforce will go with the multi-tenant architecture. So what is this multi-tenant architecture? To understand this thing, what is tenant actually? It is like a regular term in the cloud-based technologies. Now let's say like bank sector, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, and different bank sector. So let me make use of some notepad, some paint here. So now let's say this is your server. Let's say this is the Salesforce server, and this is some other CRM. Let's say Microsoft server. And Microsoft, they will go with this single tenant architecture. And here the Salesforce will go with multi-tenant architecture. So what is this multi-tenant architecture in the sense? Now let's say this is your server. And for the total bank sector, let's say for the bank sector, they will allocate some space for the bank sector. And for the automobiles, they will allocate some space for the automobiles. Now what will happen? Now, if any customer belongs to automobile like BMW, they will allocate some space in the automobile section, right? They will allocate some space. Now, let's say this is Audi car. And if again a BMW comes into the picture and they wants to use the Salesforce, they will allocate some space in the automobile section. So that means this is one tenant and this is another tenant. So this tenant is dedicated for the banking thing, and this tenant is dedicated to some automobiles or oil and industry like. So for the same platform, for the same domains, it will allocate one tenant. That means multi-tenant. This is considered like multi-tenant architecture. So different customers from the same domain can use the single tenant. Whereas if you take the Dynamics or Microsoft, here it is like single tenant architecture. Or let's say for ICICI Bank, they will allocate some space. For HDFC, they will allocate some different tenant. And for BMW, one tenant, and for Audi, different tenant. For Audi again, it is like different tenant. This is just for your idea, like what's happening in the backend. So this is not going to make the extra points to your interview perception or for the job thing, nothing like that. But just I want to give some background how the Salesforce is maintaining the servers and how it is allocating space to the customers. So you need to understand something in the background, right? That's the only thing. Just I'm using this picture. So here for domain based, let's say this is banking, it will create one tenant. For the automobiles, it will create another tenant. All the automobile related domains will be accommodated in a single tenant. That means the one tenant can be used by multiple customers. So what's happening with this in the sense? The cost will be reduced for this particular customers, the person who are using the Salesforce, as they are using the multi-tenant architecture, the costing and all will reduce in terms of Salesforce. While coming to the Dynamics, they need to maintain a different tenant for each and every customers. So it costs more while compared to the Salesforce. So if you see in the market, so many companies, including from level 1 to level 5 companies, are using the Salesforce CRM. Most thing is like the cost effective. Salesforce is like very much cost effective, where you can create, where even level 1 companies are small companies can also afford the Salesforce due to this multi-tenant architecture, right? Now let's come back to the topic here. I mean to say whatever we are discussing here. Now, whenever you are trying to create an account in the Salesforce, as simple as Gmail account, right? As simple you have created a Gmail, in the same way you have created a Salesforce. Now here you no need to remember this organization URL. Simple, you can use whatever the username you have provided. The username there, the username here, let me have that username at agent core something, agentforce.com, right? This is my username. That means previously we used to select the domain as well, like domain in the sense agentforce.com or yakshaIT.com. It allows you, it provided an option for us to create this particular domain like dummy data. But nowadays, the system is automatically providing some domain as well, like agentforce.com. But in real, there is no agentforce.com, no website like that. You know, right? @gmail.com, @hotmail.com. In the same way, @agentforce.com. So once you are creating an account, it will allocate some space to you. That means it will create some tenant for you. It will create some tenant in the Salesforce, right? So whenever you are using this login.salesforce.com, based upon this particular username, it will automatically route you to your organization URL. So throughout the globe, any Salesforce user or any Salesforce user who has the account can use this login.salesforce.com. It will automatically route to their organization based upon their username. Right? Sorry, just give me a second. Yeah. So now let's have, this is how once you log into the system, this is how the look and feel. Here in the top you could see this is like Salesforce logo, as you know. Here whenever you are dealing the Salesforce with any company, you can have their company's logo here. We are in coming classes we are going to see how to change the logos and all. This is the logo. First try to understand the terminology here. I mean to say, once you are interacting with the website or a Salesforce account, try to understand the terminology and the navigation part, which is more important, right? So this is your Salesforce logo, and whatever you are seeing here, this we are going to call it as app launcher. So this is like application launcher. So if you want to switch between the different application, this is the place where you can click on this app launcher. So if you click on this app launcher, it will show you all the list of applications available with the Salesforce, right? This is currently the sales. Currently, we are in the sales app. So if you want to switch between the different app, you can select the service or you can type whatever the app you want to see, right? You can type here and you can go for the particular applications. So there is some of the applications like out of the box applications, I mean to say, which comes with the edition you purchased. If you are purchasing some license with the Salesforce, some of the applications is available in the Salesforce. So these are some of the applications available. So you can switch between the different applications. Now let's say if you want to see the service here, simply click on the service. It will take you to the service app. So this app launcher will be used to switch between the different apps, right? And here you could see home, opportunities, lead, tasks, files and all. These are nothing but these are the different tabs. This we are going to call it as a tabs. That's it. Yeah. So these are the different tabs we could see. What is this tab actually? For any website, you know, in order to navigate between the different items, you need to have some tab, right? In the same way, the terminology here, we are also calling it a tab. This tab will consist of an objects. I mean to say, what is objects here? So before going to it, let me give some terminology-wise information here. You know, maybe I'm just expecting that you are from the background of BTech or at least my degree with computers background, right? So any computer background can easily understand what is database, right? So database is nothing but it has some where we maintain some data, right? For any website or any software, it read a database. So let me assume that you have the basic knowledge on the database, at least terminology. So let me compare with the Salesforce CRM. So that makes your job easy. So in the database, now let's say we know what is table, right? Table is like combination of rows and columns. I mean to say it's like collection of columns. These columns has the data. For example, if you want to maintain the student information, in the student as a table and serial number, student name, address, phone number, this is the columns where we are maintaining the data, right? So in the database, we used to call it as table, right? In the same way, in the Salesforce, here we should not use the terminology as a table here. So instead of table, we are going to call it as object. The same student table, if you have the student table there, in the database, regular database like Oracle or SQL Server, we used to call it as table. In the Salesforce, we need to refer it as object. Please try to understand the terminology. From today, like from regular classes, we are going to use the same terminology. So as you are like going for the real-time projects, you should be conscious about I mean to say, you should be knowing about the terminology first, right? And the table will be referred as object here. And in the table, we have the columns, right? Just as I explained, serial number, student name, address, phone. These are like columns. In the Salesforce, instead of columns, we are going to refer it as fields, right? Fields. So columns will be referred as fields here. And the data you have, now let's say for the student table, serial number as one, student name as Suresh, and address so also, and phone number so also. This is my record. This is my data. So the data will be referred as record in the database, right? So in the Salesforce, we are going to refer it as rows, or you can also go with records. So this is what like basic terminology which we are going to refer regarding related to the objects. So table is nothing but object here, right? So now let's go back to the application here. This is app launcher, as I said. Now here you could see home button. Home button will explains you with some dashboards here. Whatever you are seeing, these are the dashboards. What is this dashboard for? For any top management. Now let's say BMW company. So they want to understand what's happening with their leads, what's happening with the company data. I mean to say how many leads was generated by yesterday, how many leads was attempted by the salespersons, or how many opportunities was generated, how many quotations was created. So if they want to get this type of information, like high-end information, we need to provide some dashboard so that in the dashboard they are able to understand what's happening with the business, right? Now, if you see here, it's like totally as in the demo session I have explained. So it is like plug and play scenario where if you are application was already developed, so you can just plug and play the application, right? So we just created an account and we have not developed anything, but you are able to see a lot of options and lot of components here. Before customizing the system, we are trying to understand what is there in the system, right? So this is like home application and this is the dashboard. Here, close deals, like how many deals your has closed and how many their planned accounts and what is the relationship, like grown relationship. This everything like dashboard scenario where it provides you like some information, like what's happening with your company. As this is like brand new, there is no data. That's the reason it shows all the zero. In the coming classes, we are going to see how to create these dashboards and all. But for now, for any application, by default, there will be like home button. So that in the home button, generally we can have the dashboards there. That's not compulsory. You can have your own dashboards there, right? That means you can have your own dashboards or other information as well. That's up to you. So how to design this homepage, that's we are going to see in coming sessions. Today, just we are focusing on UI introduction part, how the look and feel of Salesforce, how the user can navigate between the different components. That's what actually we are targeting today. Right? And here opportunities, leads, tasks, whatever you are seeing here, this everything is not, this all is like objects in the database. So what is object? Object, as I said, it is nothing but a table. So if you are dealing with some sales application, in the backend, there is some database, right? There is some database in the backend where the database has some tables or objects, and you are just consuming those tables to showcase the information to the front-end user on your website, on your application, right? So if you want to see the accounts here, so what is accounts? Account is nothing but your customer information. The company's customer information can be treated as accounts and contacts. So we'll discuss what is this accounts and what is contacts later, but try to focus here. Now let's say you want to see your account details. Simply click on this account tab. It will take you to the account information. So these are the list of accounts already available in your system. This is like some sample data which automatically installed by Salesforce once you are creating an account. So here you could say this is how you can navigate between the different objects data, right? Now account is an object or account is a table in the database where it has some data. From the front end, you are able to click on this account tab and you are able to see the data, right? And if you want to see the contacts, click on the contacts and you are able to see the contacts information here, right? There is no contacts currently. You could able to see the contacts if anything is required. So here, this is app launcher. This is the application name, and these are the objects available in your database, right? So this is the basic page, right? Once you click on any tab, it will showcase you that particular object information. Now, what actually this one? Here you could see the profile. This is general. Once you are creating the Gmail in the same way, Gmail the profile. You want to see the profile like Yaksha IT is my name, first name and last name. I have provided, and this is my organization URL. And if you want to go with the settings and log out, right? And display density like the look and feel. And here you could see which you need to see. Switch to Salesforce Classic. So what is this Salesforce Classic? So like 4 to 5 years back, now currently whatever the application you are seeing, this application will be treated as model driven application or lightning appearance, whatever you are seeing, lightning experience. So before LWC concepts, you know, right? Lightning Web Components. Before Lightning, every application was developed in the classic mode. What is classic mode? What is the difference between this classic and lightning experience? Only the simple classic is like older version, lightning is a newer version. So why this lightning experience was introduced? Main thing is like look and feel was totally different. Now you could see the good look and feel while compared to the classic. And the latency issues got resolved. What is latency? Whenever you are trying to load the page, like whenever you are trying to load the page, or whenever you are trying to access any table or any tab. So previously, let's say it takes 7 seconds or 8 seconds in the classic version. In the lightning experience, the page loading time was improved, right? And performance issues got fixed. This is how the lightning experience was introduced with the latest functionality and latest technology. So previously we used to have the Salesforce Classic, and this is going to be deprecated in coming releases or coming years, but still there is an option for you to switch to Salesforce Classic, but no company were using the Classic version. So if you want to see the look and feel how it looks like in the Classic, just click on the switch to Salesforce Classic. It will take you to the classic version. This is how here you could see the Salesforce logo and home, and this is the tabs and all. This is how it looks like. So if you want to see the accounts, click on the accounts, and this is how it looks like. So this is the basic. This is the classic mode where you could see the sales mode in the olden days, right? So if you want to switch between the different apps, here you could see the sales and different apps. Now we have the app launcher. Previously, this was like it looks like some HTML page sort of thing, right? This is how the applications looks in the olden days, before 3 years or 4 years, I guess. Now everything was switched to lightning experience, and no company or no client were using the classic versions now. So Salesforce also suggests you to use the lightning experience applications, and you can't create a classic applications as well. So if you want to create any application, that should be in the lightning experience only. Got it? So this is like switch to Salesforce Classic if you want to navigate to the older version. And while creating an demo account or developer edition trial account, we have created an user. So if you want to create an user, click on add username, you can create an account. So let's say later we can see how to create users and all. This is about the profile section. And this notifications is nothing but now whenever you are using the application. So here the sales team will use the sales application and marketing team will use the marketing application and service team will use the service applications, right? Here you can also call it as applications or cloud. That's totally up to you. Sales cloud, service cloud, marketing cloud. You can call in this way. I mean, say the terminology wise. Or sales application is fine. Otherwise, sales cloud is also fine. Right. So whatever the applications you are using, now let's say here Yaksha IT is the user working as a sales manager. Right. I have logged into the account as a sales manager. So what is this sales manager? For every user, there will be certain roles and certain profiles in the system. So these roles and profiles will discuss while creating an user, right? So I mean to say now let's say I have created an appointment with the one of my customer. For tomorrow, I am going to create an appointment with my customer in this Salesforce account. So this notification will show you once you logged into this account. Tomorrow you could see the notification here. Hey, you have an appointment with this so-and-so customer. So that means this notification will work as an reminder where if you have any upcoming events that will be displayed here. Otherwise, if you have any email in your box, that email will be alerted here. This is what the notifications will help you to identify what is the notification we have with your account. So here I logged in as Yaksha IT user. So whatever the notification related to the Yaksha IT will be notified here, right? And coming to this gearbox icon or setting icon, here you could say setup. This is like setup where if you want to set up something, whatever you are seeing here, the front end user who can access this your application, right? Now let's say you want to add one more object in this tab, or if you want to remove these particular contacts from this menu. So where you are going to do all this thing, that you can perform in this setup page. So if you click on this setup, you could see the page will be loaded. And here this time, everything is same. Here it shows the setup. So here it shows the setup and home button, it is like a regular and object manager, which consists of all the objects. So here you could see lot of setup options. This is the place where you are going to setting up your applications. So if you want to customize your applications or if you want to configure your applications, again, the two terminology which I used here, let me try to make you understand the terminology first, configuration and customization. So what is this configuration and what is customization? In your interview perception, they may ask, what do you know about what the configurations you have performed, what the customizations you have performed? Or do you have the experience only in the configuration part, or do you have the experience in customization as well? So what is configuration and customization respective to the Salesforce in the sense? Now, configuration is nothing but you have the once you purchase the license or you created a trial account, right? Now just you are using the system by changing some properties or using the existing functionality. Let's say creating an user, right? And applying the security concepts, this everything comes under configuration part, right? And customization, like developing new functionality. So now let's say your customer would like to have new functionality. As I said, already the system was there. Some 60% of the system was there. Now they need extra functionality. So that means you are just extending the system behavior. So whatever the system functionality you have, you are just adding extra functionality to the existing system. Maybe you are creating new objects. I mean to say that new table, but you need to refer it as an object here. You need to create a new objects or new some background processes, right? Or you are creating new application. This everything comes under customization part. Now you know what is configuration and customization, right? So here now if you want to perform any configuration or any customization, you should be in the setup page, right? Whatever the page we are seeing here, the application, this is for the front end user. So the front end user will simply use the application, right? But for the front end, they are not able to customize or configure the application. They can simply use the application. This is the page. It is like front end page where they can access the objects or the data or whatever. So if you want to customize something, that you need to be in this setup. And here, as Yaksha IT is an user, I have created an account, so I will have the system administrator privilege. By default, I will have the system administrator profile. So what is this profiles and all? We'll explain you while creating an user. But for now, once you are creating an account, that user will have the ultimate privilege in your account. Privilege is nothing but a permission. So I have the system administrator permission. So that's the reason I could able to see this setup page. So if you are not providing with this particular system administrator, that user cannot able to click on this setup, right? And data cloud setup. So something related to the data, if you want to set up something related to the data cloud, you can do here. So for the users permission sets and all, right? And again, if you see for the service, they have created separate setup for the service. Now let's say you are into the marketing or another application. You can simply click on the setup. It will take you to the setup page. You could see setup for current app. So if you open any app, so if you're clicking on the setup, that will take you to that particular app setting. Whereas coming to the service setup, there is like different setup was available for the service. Why? Because any organization who are dealing with some product, so like any sort of product. So service sector is going to play an important role for any business, right? So to make to have the good revenue, or now let's say sale process is like one time, right? So now let's say I am the customer for the BMW company. So I have purchased a car. That is like one time job with the sales team. But I need to have the regular service with the company. So in a year, 1 or 2 times, I'm going to visit to the company for the service team. So here, actually, your brand value will enhance based upon the service where you are going to provide to the customer. So for the service, there is a lot of things with the service. I mean to say, there will be some service level agreements, there will be some entitlements, right? So we need to configure the service setup there. For the service setup, there is something different where it has like some extra items and all. So here, the service setup will be used to have all these entitlements and service level agreements and all. Everything will be configured in this service setup. So we will discuss the service setup in detail while discussing the service concepts, right? So this is like service setup. It provides a direct link from your home page where you can directly navigate to the service setup. And here you could see developer console. As I said in the yesterday's session, demo session, there will be like platform PaaS, like platform as a service. So if you want to have some development activity, you can simply click on this developer console. It will take you to the force.com. So here you can use this window to write your Apex code. So whatever you can use this particular page to have the Apex code and all. So this is like developer console where you can see can do some developer activities. And this is like direct links. And edit object. So if you want to edit currently you are in the accounts. So if you want to edit this object, so without going to the setup and searching for the accounts and all, you can simply click on the edit object so that it will directly take you to the edit page of this account object. Right. This is how the settings will work for you. And question mark, like Salesforce help, like whenever you have any issues with your application, like out of the box applications, I mean to say, like whatever the applications provided by the Salesforce company, whatever the functionality provided by the Salesforce company. If you have any issues with with any functionality, there should be some customer care, right? So how to contact the Salesforce customer care? This is the place where you can interact with the Salesforce team. So before here you could see get support. So before going to the support, there is like many resources. It is like act as a repository where it consists of all the knowledge articles. I mean to say related to the function, related to the concepts, it has some articles provided here. Such a Salesforce help. You can also make use of search here where you can, based upon your issue, you can search here. It will take you to it will provide you some of the documents or the articles which is created by the Salesforce. So still, if you are facing an issue, you can simply raise a ticket to the Salesforce help here. By using the Salesforce, you can raise a ticket, right? Now, once a ticket is raised, it's like, the regular process of how the service sector will work, right? One Salesforce agent will be associated with your Salesforce ticket, and there it will they will assist you to fix the issue. This is like Salesforce help, right? And here guidance center. Now let's say you have created a Salesforce, like brand new Salesforce account. So you are new to the Salesforce. It is like tour, sort of tour, where if you install any applications, it will show some basic navigation tips, and it will explain the functionality, right? So this is like guidance center. If you see, define your sales process. So where how to define your sales process. Now let's say the BMW has purchased the Salesforce, and how to configure my system. So this is like self-explanatory guides provided by the Salesforce, like how to set up accounts and contacts, and Salesforce user basics, how to create users and all. This is like guidance center, where it will act as a guidance center to provide assistance. I mean, to the self-explanatory guidance center. And this plus icon, which you could see, this will act as a global action. So what is this global action? Global action is nothing but, now let's say you want to create an account, one of the customer information here. So you need to click on this accounts and try to create a new here. So they can create a new record in the accounts table, right? In the same way, you want to create a contact, go to the contact and new and create a contact record. This is how the record can be created on any of the object, right? But if you have this object in the global action, now let's say this is your global action. Here, if I want to create an account, even though I am on the accounts table or whatever the place and whichever the tab I am in, so simply I can use the global action. I can click on the record on that particular table. So this is like new contact, so that I can create a contact record. I can create a contact record by using the global action. So without navigating from the original screen. Without navigating from the original main screen, I can make use of this global action to create records in different objects. So how to add the tables to the global, how to add these objects to the global action, that's we are going to see in the coming session. So this is like global action, right? And here you could see if you want to have any favorite list, right? So you can have the favorite list there. And this is like search box. So if you want to search something, now let's say, what is the accounts I have? Now let's say if you want to search any records, irrespective of the tables. Now let's say Salesforce is one of the account I have. Let me have on any of the table. And if you are searching with some data, so it will showcase you the information where the record is exist. So account name. So even though in wherever you are, this is what as a global search in your Salesforce. I mean to say, if you are searching the data, it will search with the different tables and fetch wherever this data exists. So on accounts with Salesforce, it found one record. And these are the different objects, and they have this system has searched in these many tables and provided this as a result. This will work as a global search, right? This is how the user interface, and this is what actually you are going to see any application, not only for the sales cloud. Now let's say if you go with the service cloud here, and again service with the name as a service here, whatever the app, the name of the app, and home button, and these are the tabs. And this is like regular icons where you could see this is like unique interface. Whatever the applications you are navigating, this look and feel is like same. Now you can understand this is like global search, and what is these icons, and these are the tabs, and this is like app launcher, and this is the logo image where you can put some logos there. And if you want to switch between the different application, simply click on this app launcher and go to your particular applications, right? This is how the look and feel and the navigation. Now let's see, this is your application. Now let's say you want to customize something, as we just discussed, as we just discussed. So to customize or to configure the existing system, or after creating an account, I want to create one more user in my Salesforce account so that another user can also access my account. So how to do that part? And before to that, once I purchase the license or once I have the trial account, I need to configure my account, right? Like what is my company information and what is the storage they have provided to me, and what is my business working hours. This everything you need to configure the system. So currently it is like Salesforce, like brand new you have created. You need to configure your company information and all, right? So how to do this setup and all? For that, as we just discussed, click on this setup. go to this setup page. Click on this setup. So this is the list of, this is the setup. There is a lot of items where you are going to see here. This everything will be used to customize or configure your applications. And again, the home button, this is like home, which provides you the basic information of what's happening with the setup and all. And here it consists of all the same applications. Apart from it, you could see only one object manager. What is object manager? Object is nothing but a table in the database, right? Here we need to refer it as an object. Simply click on this object manager. You could see the list of objects available in the database. Now, if you see, it's almost 53 plus items sorted by label. 53 plus items. What all these items are? This is nothing but your objects available in the database. So how you are able to see this application? As I said, Salesforce is an defined application, is already designed application. How you are able to see all this functionality in the front end? So it has some database in the back end, right? So the database consists of these objects. Now account is an object, activity is an object, address is an object. Object is nothing but, as you know, object is nothing but a table. The label will define the information like what is the name of the object and API name. What is API? Application Programming Interface. So application programming interface, the name, what is this API name? So for any object you are going to create in the system, not only the object, if you are going to create a field or if you are going to create a data dashboard or whatever the component you are going to create in the Salesforce, for each and every component, it will generate one API name. So this API name will be used by the system in the backend. Once you are trying to fetch any values or once you are trying to interact with the Salesforce, in the backend, it will trigger based upon the API name only. So whatever the label you are seeing, this is for just for your display purpose. And this API name will be used by the system. So once you have created any component, the API name cannot be changed, right? Once API name can't be changed in the system. So whatever the action you are performing, that particular that particular component will be picked by this API name only, right? In general, whatever the label name you are providing, the same API name is suggested. So why, in the sense, we'll discuss while creating these objects and all. And here the type you could see, like this is like standard object. What is type? How many types of objects we have? There is two types, like custom object and standard object. Whatever the objects you are seeing while creating the Salesforce, that's everything comes under standard object. Description, last modified and deployed. These are like some of the basic items which is available in the object manager. So while creating the objects, we'll discuss in detail. Anyhow, you are going to create a project like application. We are going to create an application. In that application, we are going to create create some objects as well. At the time, we can discuss in detail about it. And here you could see quick find. Now let's say if you want to find something like contact, search with the contact, it will display the contact field. This will be used as a quick find. Quick find is nothing but this quick find can be used only within this object manager. Here we could see this is quick find and this is global search. Global search where it will search from your total application or total database. We'll discuss all these items in detail. Now come back to the setup here. So this is the setup page where you could see the setup information. To see the company information, you can make use of this search instead of this is what the navigation part and all, as I said. Now let's say you are after learning the Salesforce after 3 months, maybe while you are in practicing purpose, while you are practicing all the functionalities. If you are practicing well, the navigations is easy for you. So if you are just entering into a real-time projects, I mean to say once you are joined in any company like Infosys or Accenture or anything, so you should not be searching for the navigations, right? So that's like, if you are going with some experience like 2 years or 3 years, so you should not search for the navigations. That's like main thing where most of the people will caught up. I mean to say, I quickly ask, hey, try to create an user. So if you are searching here like user, that will caught up. I mean to say, just giving an example. So to make the people to do some show up, simple as I could say, you should be familiar with the system first of all, like how the navigations can be, where the functionality is available, how to navigate. That you should be quick. So if you are not able to find, simply use this quick find options. Wherever you have the quick find, simply go with the quick find. Now let's say you want to see the company information, just make use of this quick find. So here you could see the company information. Otherwise, you need to search for the company information. That's totally up to you. But my suggestion here, try to use the system. So by end of this today, I mean to say today, try to create one a Salesforce account on your own. I mean, so it's creation of the Salesforce is like again, it's like simple task. As we have seen today, like you need to have one Gmail account and put your first name and last name and with your work email as a Gmail account and click on OK. So it will generate a link to your Gmail so that there you could see your username and reset the password and try to access your Salesforce account. So this is like it's almost 9:55, so I need to wind up the session as the time is going on. So let me give some recap on it. Today, just we have seen how to create a Salesforce account. To create a Salesforce account, you need to go with the developer.salesforce.com/signup. You can also go with the directly salesforce.com and you can start signing up, but the account will not give you for more days. It will be like within 20 to 30 days that will be deprecated or the trial period will be ended. So please try to use this account to create a trial account. Once you are creating the trial account, you could see the Gmail and all. After resetting and all, you could see try to log in with the account with the login.salesforce.com. No need to refer, no need to remember all this URL. Just go with login.salesforce.com. So afterwards, I just explained how the Salesforce was maintaining in the backend, like multi-tenant architecture, what is multi-tenant architecture, and what is regarding the architecture of Salesforce. We'll discuss in detail in the coming session. But for now, why the Salesforce is most popular? Because of cost effective. One reason that is not that is the main reason, but that is one of the reason where cost effective. So that is the reason even from the small companies to large companies were able to tolerate or were able to go with the Salesforce account. So once creating a Salesforce account, your task would be try to navigate with the different items and try to explore the Salesforce. So what is App Launcher and what are the items which I discussed so far? This is only for the UI introduction part. Why? Because from the tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss what is data types, what is the data model in Salesforce. In the data model, what is objects, what are the types of objects, and what is applications, and how to create this application. This everything we are going to add in this particular. We are going to build some application in this particular trial account. So before going this, you need to be familiar with the navigation. So that's the reason I'm just stressing this. Try to create a trial account by today, and from tomorrow, like it is like Friday. So the regular classes will be from Monday, from 26th of June. Only for this Saturday and Sunday, there is no class. Our next class will be on Monday. From Monday, we are going to do all the activities on this trial account. So be prepared by creating with the trial account. That's it from my end. Please let me know if you have any questions on the yesterday's or today's session. And YouTube recording video will be uploaded to the YouTube link as you have seen in the yesterday's WhatsApp group. In the same WhatsApp group, they are going to post this video as well. If anyone has missed or if you have any questions, please feel free to ping in the same WhatsApp group. I hope all of you gone through the notes which I have shared yesterday for your reference. And still, if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, I will take the silence as no questions and we'll wind up the session for today and we'll continue the sessions from Monday. It's like the same time, 9 a.m. Thank you all.